Welcome to InfoHub. In our headlines, President Granger hands over 2 more buses under the 5Bs program. The Chinese celebrate 165 years in Guyana, and sea defense work in Waller's Delight and Ramsey moving apace. Stay tuned for the details of these and more. And now for the details. School attendance improves as 5B's initiative continues to thrive. Here is Zenil Williams.
The introduction of the 5B's initiative in Regions 5 and 6 is benefiting some 200 students at a cost of $72,000 daily. Another 2 buses were officially handed over today. The 2 buses were commissioned today at the Firish Primary School and the Novar Primary School. According to Region 6 Regional Executive Officer Kim Stevens-Williams, since the region received 3 buses under this project, the statistics show
this bus transports an average of 180 persons per day. The average cost per student return is $400 per day. This simply means that families are now being able to save an average of $72,000 per day, weekly $360,000 per week, and monthly $1,440,000. This is indeed remarkable. The numbers are significantly higher for the other buses because of the larger catchment area.
The head of state believes that education is the key to the nation's development, hence the importance of providing transportation.
Every day, every month, more money is being passed back into the households, so you don't have to spend on paying transportation to get to school. Your households will be enriched by this process. This is not a political gimmick. This is real economics. This has been done to ensure that children could get to school and learn their lessons. But the aim is not just to provide a bus. I'm not here to give you a bus. I'm here to ensure that there's equality in this country.
Minister of Social Protection Amna Ali said the government remains committed to this initiative.
We are bridging the gap of education between hinterland and coastal regions by providing increased access to transportation for our school children to get to and from school.
Reporting for InfoHub.
Zenil Williams.
Here now is our cabinet roundup from Stacey Carmichael.
Minister of State Joseph Harmon today announced that on January 30, 2018, all redundant sugar workers will be paid 50% of their severance, and by the second half of the year, the other 50% will be paid. He explained that these payments will be calculated based on the length of service and other determinants, dispelling claims that each worker will be paid $1 million.
In addition to providing the payment for severance, that there are several other programs which the government would contribute to that will help the workers to adjust to this new economic reality.
Minister Harmon reiterated government's commitment to ensuring the sugar workers' welfare is protected. Amidst criticisms, he clarified that the sugar industry is being right-sized, since to date some $32 billion and counting is being expended to an industry that is no longer feasible. Minister Harmon also clarified that the National Service Program will not be resumed. Rather, he explained that President David Granger has instructed that there be an examination of the various youth programs with a view of implementing a Guyana youth program.
That is an activity which basically focuses on youth training and youth skills development. And what it means is that in the first instance, because it has to be in a graduated sense, in the first instance, what the President has asked is for all of these various expenditure which government undertakes with respect to youth, that they be combined and be focused on youth development.
Asked about government's plans for the Marriott Hotel located at Kingston, Georgetown, Minister Harmon informed that following assessments, government is looking at ways to improve the value of the property before deciding on an option.
Whether we sell it as shares or whether we invite certain investments and so on. The recommendations which have been made to us so far is that even before you actually go to a sale or whatever that sale is going to be, that there are certain preliminary things which you must do, which will increase the value of the asset. And one of those had to do with the entertainment complex which is there.
And finally, in post-cabinet roundup, the government has granted the appointment of directors to boards of state agencies. Go Invest Board of Directors to be chaired by Patricia Bacchus, Income Tax Board of Review to be headed by Basil Joseph, the Dependents Pension Fund Board to be chaired by Jennifer Chapman, the Institutional Review Board for the Ministry of Public Health to be chaired by Dr. Shamdeo Prasad, and the Firearm Licensing Board chaired by Bert Sukai. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
Chinese Arrival Day was observed today at Windsor Forest as they celebrate their 165th year here. Here is Neil Williams with details.
Delivering the feature remarks, President David Granger noted the bonds forged between Guyana and China when the Chinese indentured immigrants first arrived in 1853. According to the 2012 census, Chinese descents make 0.2% of the population.
Chinese are still arriving today, not as laborers, but as investors, as visitors, as workers, as entrepreneurs. And I said they are welcome again today as they were welcome in 1853. This continuous immigration attests to the excellent current relations between the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and the People's Republic of China.
Chinese entrepreneurs are extending their influence and expanding their involvement in the commercial, construction, hospitality, and mining sectors. Minister of Social Cohesion, Dr. George Norton, said,
I will ensure that all efforts be made to continuously integrate the Chinese community into the social cohesion and development process of Guyana as a part of the policy of this government.
Chinese indentured immigrants arrived in British Guyana aboard the ship Glen Tanner on the 12th of January, 1853.
Zanil Williams reporting for InfoHub from Windsor Forest, West Coast Demerara.
Remaining Indigenous communities to receive land titles before year end. More from Seneca Thorne.
According to Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Alicok, the first of the three-phase process has been completed. The first phase dealt with the consultative investigation of the land claims.
We did all the investigations, so all of that was done. This year it is expected that we ensure that all is intact for us to now deliver the titles to these communities that are being identified.
The process has now entered the second stage, which will see survey and demarcation of the villages.
As I speak, we have the PS having a preliminary meeting with the UNDP, and we are going to be meeting very shortly with the stakeholder members of the year.
Minister Alicok explained that the ministry was able to resolve a number of land issues in the Anai, Arnaputa, and Yarakinta areas. Under the Guyana Red Plus Investment Fund GRIF, the government in 2013 signed a US $10.7 million document for the implementation of the Amerindian Land Titling and Demarcation Project. The project concluded in 2016. However, the ministry requested a 2-year extension in 2017. The sum of $165 million was earmarked for the extension. This project, which is being spearheaded by the United Nations Development Program UNDP, seeks to protect indigenous rights and create livelihood opportunities for residents. Seneca Thorne for InfoHub.
The successful Youth Biz 592 pilot project is targeted for continued funding from the Inter-American Development Bank in 2018. Crystal Stahl has this report.
Small Business Bureau Chief Executive Officer Lowell Porter said of the 85 youths who graduated from the program last year, 72 submitted applications for grants. Of the total, 68 businesses were financed with a sum of $310,000 each.
That tells me that there are young people out there that, first of all, need help, and they're willing to do what is necessary. On our end, we're trying to develop more of a monitoring and being close to them and help them get through some of their situations.
Porter added that in 2017, under the program, a total of 50 loans valued at $270 million were approved to finance small businesses across the country. He added that despite distributing a total of 49 loans, but not at the rate previously set out, it led to the agency only meeting 51% of its target goal.
Now, I think the question would be why it didn't reach 100%. But, the bank has its criteria, and we were hoping in this program that more banks would have been involved. Unfortunately, only 2 banks are involved, and in terms of the microfinance institutions, we had IPED.
Porter believes if there were more involvement from commercial banks, the agency would have surpassed its target goal. Youth Biz 592 is a collaboration between Ministry of Public Security, Education, the Small Business Bureau, and falls under the purview of the Ministry of Business and the Inter-American Development Bank, which funded the program along with Youth Build USA Incorporated. Crystal Stahl for InfoHub.
Paul McAdam joins us now. He tells us that a consultancy is ongoing to determine ways of reducing the amount of pre-trial detainees.
A consultancy is on the way to ascertain various methods of reducing the rate of pre-trial detainees, according to Public Security Minister Kemraj Ramjatan. This issue has been cited as one of the factors increasing the number of incarcerated inmates countrywide. The Public Security Minister outlined some of the recommended proposed actions during the 83rd sitting of the National Assembly recently.
Consideration will be given to the possibility of introducing a computerized prisoner database by the prison service to track individual prisoners through the criminal justice system, and to facilitate the collection and reporting of statistics on the numbers of prisoners held in custody and on remand, and also urging their early trials. Following consultation with the judiciary too, the prosecuting authorities must consider criminal case management to assist in expediting the hearing and resolution of criminal cases before the courts.
Minister Ramjatan added that it is also recommended that there be a uniform presumption in favor of bail, the granting of more unconditional bail, and the relaxing and diversifying of bail conditions. This, he said, aims to reduce the number of remanded prisoners in custody.
In that regard, consider that we replace our common law bail provisions, which we use, with what is called a dedicated bail act. So the work is being done, and slowly we are going to get it done. These things were not done under the previous administration.
The consultancy is being done by Trinidadian Senior Counsel and Legal Consultant Peter Persklov. It is one of the many efforts by the government to improve the justice system, which has been affected by several problems for decades. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
Here's our final report. Residents of Waller's Delight and Ramsett will soon be free from saltwater intrusion as sea and river defense works in the communities are moving apace. Here are the details.
The project, which commenced November 2017, is expected to be completed by June this year. Ministry of Public Infrastructure Project Coordinator Dennis Ramsingh.
There are 2 segments of riprap. It's done in phases, phase 4 and 5. Phase 5 is Ramsek. The contract is currently moving ahead to Ramsek at this point, so to close the gap between Waller's Delight and Ramsek.
The project coordinator explained that due to the rapid erosion, the government took the decision to construct the riprap sea defense to address the problem.
We have rapid degradation of the mangrove forests. Here, for the past maybe 25 years or so, we had a very large mangrove forest, and within the past 2-3 years, we have experienced a lot of erosion, uprooting, and loss of mangrove vegetation. So government took the initiative to construct riprap sea defenses to address the erosion problems.
The works are being executed by BK International and Tulsi Prasad Limited to the tune of approximately $190 million. Ronette LaFleur reporting for InfoHub.
Thanks for watching. Remember to connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.